Alright, for anyone that cares, I've almost pulled out my N54. I have been struggling massively with getting the front bumper off. The front clip, I watched a whole bunch of videos on YouTube and a massive amount of them kind of just said just unbolt it and it'll come off. Few things to note. So we've got this one here. This is the washer jets for the headlights. That one there had to sort of come off and I just sort of tucked it up the side, pull it off on the passenger side, and then just unclip it from the front bumper, front clip thing, throw it up there. Lower radiator hoses, all of them had to come off from the radiator, empty that into a bucket which I've stored away somewhere. A few of these here around the oil cooler, they all had to sort of come out a little bit as well, just sort of unclip and whatnot. It was a bit of a pain in the ass. Had to unbolt this from the front clip because this was what sort of holds the headlight. So the headlight bolts to this, and then you unbolt the headlight, but you have to unbolt this to sort of wedge it out, which was really annoying. A whole lot of stuff that does get sort of stuck on there. Unbolt the front Rio bar. I don't know what they call it in BMW land, but in Nissan world we call it front Rio bar. And then it sort of wedges out. There's a few little brackets that are around the aircon condenser and a few of the other coolers and stuff like that. They sort of come undone, and pretty much just undo every single bolt. What's that? My puppy dog. It's making some noise. So yeah, unbolt all those things. There's lots of like wires and shit sort of go along the front. Just unclip them, tuck them away. I've tucked this away here. I'm going to see if I can get away with just tucking away some of these around the side while I'm pulling the engine out. I'm going to have to pull the aircon condenser off the old motor in the car to see if I can make that work. I have my doubts, but at the same time it might work if I pull this out, throw it down the bottom. That one there goes around the back of the engine, and I might be able to sort of tuck this off to the side, but we'll see. It just depends how much hard line's attached to it. If you have a look in here, it's pretty dirty. So I had a oil filter housing leak because I bought a cheap shit gasket. This is a quick fix because it was like pissing out real bad, so I put that on there. I thought it was actually okay, but it turned out that it was weeping a little bit, and it's been doing that for fucking ages. So that got onto the belt, chewed up the belt again. This time the front of the crank decided that it would eat the belt, and now we've got a knocking motor. So bit of a pain in the ass, but should have it out next couple of weeks or so. Still got to do the transmission bolts at the back, sort of down there. I'll have to jack the car up, get around the back, undo them, undo the torque converter, all that stuff. Pretty standard automatic stuff. Pulling off all the wiring. What's really good about these is that I will be able to pull off all the wiring harnesses from the car, just unplug it, chuck it on top of the motor, pull the motor out, and what I'll do is I'll swap the wiring harness onto the spare motor over there, out of the car, and then when I put it back in, I'll just plug it all back in. So should work out pretty well. We'll see how we go. So almost done with getting it ready to be pulled out. So still a fair bit to go with the rest of the build, but yeah, we'll see if we can get this back in. Let's see if it started. Let's see if my Facebook Marketplace engine, which looks really clean, well, comparatively, if you have a look down there, there's a little bit of grease and stuff, but it doesn't look like it's completely fucked. Guy said that it ran really well. Gonna put the turbos from the other car on because they were new. These gaskets look pretty good. I do need a new oil cooler, which I am going to find online. Hopefully I can find a aftermarket one or something. Yeah, a couple other things as well just hanging out there, but I just when I have the other engine out, I'll swap them over. I'll probably swap the water pump from the other motor because this one here I'm pretty sure has one of the plastic water pumps. Yeah, it does. You can see it down there. Probably can't see it in the photo, but swap that one over because I've got a metal one from the when I changed the turbos that I popped on. Same with the thermostat, pretty new on that one there. Only thing I'll keep other than that from the other engine is the aircon condenser if I can make it work, and I'll probably keep some of these hoses. They all mostly look alright. I'll probably keep the radiator hoses because they haven't been caked in oil. I've got a brand new one of these with an aluminium fitting on it, which I'll use these. Having a look at the oil filter housing gasket, doesn't seem to be leaking or anything there from what I can tell. It might have leaked in the past, but I think it should be fine. Obviously I'm going to need to put in my injectors and my coil packs. So there's some spark plugs in it. I wonder if they're any good. Said the most tightest person in the world with that sort of thing. It's got a high pressure fuel pump on it. Don't know how good it is. Mine works, so I'm sort of inclined to probably keep the one that I've got, and then if that, you know, shits itself, then I've got at least got a sort of spare one there. And the other thing I'm probably going to do at some point, though it looks like someone's maybe done it sort of recently. I was going to say changing the sump gasket, but these sump bolts are pretty new, so I would think about that. Yeah, also going to have a few things left over. Going to have a spare starter motor, which is nice, a few spare sensors, spare alternator. My alternator on that car at the moment is pretty fucking covered in oil and shit, so I'm not going to bother with that one there. I'll probably keep all these vinyl solenoids and sensors and things like that on this engine just because they're clean, but I'll keep the ones from the other engine as spares. Yeah, hopefully we see it run. Hopefully I can get it all back together because I have a massive pile of engine parts and I'm hoping that I can get it back together. A little bit more difficult than working on Nissans, that's for sure. Alright, anyway, I'll keep everyone updated with how we go. So fingers crossed we get that one there in there. Cheers, bye.